Hello there, it's time for a copic tutorial. I think I'll just go with these pastel colors, and I'll just have to see if these are enough. I'm starting off with coloring this Gigi girl with I usually make her quite pale, so I'm using baby skin pink. That's E21. And what I do is I just try to fill in the contours first, and I try to stay outside those ink marks because I haven't got the perfect ink pad for this kind of coloring. The alcohol ink tends to eat up the ink that I have used, and in this case I have used I think it's VersaFine. I mean, this one gives great detail, so I'm really fond of that stamp pad. I tried stamping with the Distress Black Soot, but either I had too little color in it, or I just didn't get it to work today. What I do is I work with a small surface at once, or at one time, and I tend to swivel the brush. Yeah, that's a big difference also from the Copic pen, from the Pro Marker pen I mean. This one has quite a hard tip, and whilst this Copic pen has a soft tip, and it's a brush tip, and that makes it so much easier to color. And I think it's easier also to stay within the lines and just to get the things working. So I start off making the contours, and then I just swivel it there, just to avoid a stripy look. Copic pens are also great for if you want to blend different kinds of colors, but since I haven't got the right stamp pad, I'm not going to attempt that, because otherwise I think it's going to eat up the color later on, and it will be all smudgy, and I don't want that for this look today. This Gigi is a new stamp for me, so it's the first time I'm actually using her. She didn't have that much skin, so this is what I'm left with right now. I could go over it later on if I felt like it. And now I'm going to color her hair, and I just love making her hair sort of orange pink, and I'm just so weak for that one. So I'm starting off with Honey Y38, and the benefit of these stamps is that they have these sort of highlights in their hair. Well, actually I'm going to do it the other way. I have decided to make her ribbon here green, so I'm using yellow green, which is YG03. And I'll just start by colouring that in. And I just work the colour in there. It's a bit strange though, because those stripes are going to show underneath. I don't know what their plan has been when they have drawn those highlights, hair highlights. Well, let's continue with Honey, Y3 that was. And I just usually start off with this piece of hair that is furthest out, the most furthest out in the picture. And sometimes I just draw them. I don't actually work them like that, I just tend to draw them. And I'm going to work with 3 different kinds of colors, so or perhaps even 4. I could go for something else just to make it pop a little bit more. So I think I'll just see what it's going to look like. And this is Salmon Red R05, and this is a little bit of a bigger piece of area that I want to fill in, so I want to rub it in really good. And it could be that it ends over there. And I think that I'm going to go for something a little bit more brown, so yeah, actually got a brown pen here, E08. And should I go for that? No, I think I'll go for the apricot before that. Apricot is YR16. One thing you could be a little bit careful about when you use these Copic pens is that they tend to splatter when you open them up. Sometimes I get spots of ink on my figures, and I sometimes forget to just have the pen just a little bit outside the paper in order to avoid that. Like so. And then I could start all over again. I started off with the honey, and I'll continue with that one. So 4 colors, I think it's quite enough to her hair. And then I could count off 3. 1, 2, 3, I think. 3 colors in between. Yeah. So I think I'll go for the 4th one here. And 1, 2, 3, and then it's 4th one here. And just have to leave it like that. Then I'll go for the salmon red again. And these paintbrush pens are just lovely because I think it's so much nicer to work with them comparing to the Pro Marker pens. But on the other hand, the Pro Marker pens tend to fill the figure up nicely as well, so they give good coverage. And then we're going for that brown one. It was a lovely brown, I think. I mean, it's a sort of a reddish brown, not that darker brown. So I have used that one already, so I must go for the salmon pink. I realize the time is flying and I'm just trying to color her hair here, but I think you get the picture of how I'm working here. Could just use it over there as well then. I think this tutorial just has to be on the hair, I suppose. And after red comes apricot. I'm sort of bewildered by this hairband. What are they thinking when they are showing those hair stripes underneath? I can't understand it. And some people work with highlights when they're coloring. I haven't really mastered that technique, so I'm not going to attempt it either. So you'll have to forgive me for not being that artistic. I just tend to colour in a cartoony fashion, and I think that's quite enough for me. I mean, I'm more of a girl that likes to try different techniques out and such, so I'm not going to be bothered with that. Some people are good at this and some people are good at that, eh? Let's go for some honey. And why not put honey in the bottom here? And just finish it off with apricot. So, 8 minutes. And when it comes to colouring striped pantyhose or something like that, I just feel like, well, I could finish off the flower as well, as I have figured out the planned. Just make it blue. And I think that I could actually make the center of it green, so it's there with it. So this is how I work with the Copic pens. And to finish things off, I almost always use stickles. And then this one is diamond stickles. And I'm just going to highlight some of her hair stripes there, just to give it a lift. So now I'm going to make a tutorial for Copic, some Pro Marker pens. So you'll just have to wait for that one. Thanks.